the Swedish zone. The puck knocked away from Tyler Biggs, the Toronto Maple Leaf first rounder. Biggs from Loveland, Ohio, is one of 4 players from that state on the U.S. roster. And a whole bunch more from Pennsylvania as well. Now a rolling puck. A quick chance for Grimaldi, hit the goalpost. Rebound tapped wide by Biggs. But Grimaldi rings it right off the iron.
Both posts and out for Grimaldi. That would have been his first of the tournament. The bouncing puck comes to him and he lets it go right away. Huge break for Sweden.
Rasmus Bengtsson drops that back for Arvidsson. And Victor Arvidsson's got 4 goals the last 3 games. Works out of the corner with him. Arvidsson back on it. Plays it back. Hookstrand shoots, knocked down in front. Benberg trying to find it. Now Nilsson flips that wide. And Benberg takes a whack at it. Plays it back to Nilsson. And that shot hit Goodrow and staggered him. Now Nilsson shoots again. It's off the leg of J.T. Miller. And Jim Vesey knocks it down in the Swedish zone. He was knocked down from behind. And Nilsson goes over the puck against Goodrow. Hookstrand slides that to Benberg. And a penalty coming to the United States. So Lundstrom goes to the bench for the extra attacker. In comes Rickard Rakell. Works it and shoots. The shot was blocked. And the rebound dribbles wide. And finally the U.S. touches it. And we'll get a hooking penalty. Called against John Goodrow with 6.5 to go in the first period.
Rocco Grimaldi's shot beats Lundstrom to the blocker side. Look at how unlucky this is. Post straight across the goal line. Secondary post and out. Here comes the hooking penalty to John Goodrow as he stays in the battle. It was just a moment later he got up and ran his stick inside the hands of the Swedish defenseman. So the U.S., who had 2 power plays early, will have their first chance to kill a penalty, and they have the tournament's best penalty killing.
They've allowed just 2 goals to opposition power plays thus far in the tournament.
And percentage-wise, the Swedes have the best power play. They have 11 power play goals in just 30 attempts.
Rask, center, Colbert, backhand, stopped by Gibson, rebound, and skating by that was Elias Lindholm. A great early chance for the Swedes with the man advantage. Arvidsson is being harassed there by Trocheck. And now the U.S. puts it down in the Swedish zone. Swedes open with a 4-1 win over the Czechs. They went to a shootout to beat the Swiss, beat Latvia, hammered Finland, and of course their semifinal shootout win over the Russians. It was dominated, as you mentioned, the first half of that game. It only led 2-0.
That was as complete a domination as you're going to see, and then as soon as Russia scored, the complexion of the game turned immediately.
Actually, not the most complete domination you'll see. That was last year in the gold medal game against the Russians.
This is true.
39-4 were the shots after 2.
Yeah, they just carried it a couple of steps further last year, although you have to go all the way to overtime to get 1 goal in that game.
In comes Sandberg, and Trouba knocked that away. Nothing doing in the second half of the Swedish power play as Sandberg chips it ahead for Rakell. Sandberg chips it in front, knocked back to Haag for Jacob Delarose. Couple of 17-year-olds in the Swedish power play. Sandberg tries to center it, and Jussa knocks it down and plays it back in deep. Now Jussa holds the line for the Swedes. Haga hammers that. Connor Murphy blocked it. And Goodrow is out of the box for the U.S. Here they come. Ryan Hartman in across the line. Hartman for Goodrow. Centers it into the feet of Pietila. And now turned over by Moline. Goodrow back in the corner for it. Shovels it back in front. Backdoor pass made by Bardreau. He was alone in front and tried to find Pietila.
He did not read how clean he was into the net. That was a play that Bardreau has to shoot the puck.
Seth Jones pitches up to keep it alive. Centers it. And that's knocked down by Moline. For Rakell, a bit of a long shift for him. He'll pump that in deep and go off. Now Moline bumping there with Bardreau. And Sebastian Kohlberg slides it back. Tom Nilsson steps up. Toronto Maple Leafs draft pick, flips that to center ice. Barber knocks it back in. Boyce Rotoval shoots, it goes off the skate of Jones, and McCabe chips it ahead for Galchenyuk. Pass intercepts and plays it back. And now Boyce Rotoval chips that down in the American zone. McCabe missed everyone with that pass. Icing waved off. As Christian Juice, number 4, goes back for it. His dad, Terry Juice, played for Detroit and New York Rangers in a brief National Hockey League career. Sean Corrali works in. That was poke checked away neatly by Victor Raz. Galchenyuk's back pass chipped away. Barber knocks it back to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere served a 1-game suspension in this tournament for a spear against Slovakia. Pass just out of the reach of Barber as he wanted to go off. And Rocco Grimaldi falls in the corner, centers it. And that was knocked away from Trouba, who had pitched up. Now Carlson's away with Forsberg. William Karlsson tried to drop that back. And it was intercepted by Tyler Biggs. Now a steal by Trocheck. Trocheck knocks that away from Emil Jusa. And Trocheck waits for help to arrive off the bench. Couldn't hold any longer. Forsberg's away with Kolberg. Philip Forsberg, shot was blocked. Handles the puck up, the Swedish captain. Trying to throw that rink wide, gloved down by Biggs. His pass goes astray at the Swedish line. Linus Arneson. Ahead for Kolberg, the pass bounced away from him, and now Grimaldi back on it. Hands for Jim Vesey, shoots, Lundstrom makes the stop, and handles the rebound.
One of the most consistent unheralded forwards for the U.S. is Cole Bardreau, 18. The defensive play he makes here to poke it away from Lindholm saves a goal. Then at the other end of the ice, not known for his offense, he's wide open to shoot the puck, and he ends up passing it out of the shooting zone. As Bardreau would probably like that back. He shakes his head on the bench. Just grab the puck there. He's 20 feet out in front of the net. You live for those scoring chances.
Arvidsson backhands it ahead for Alexander Venberg. Venberg's shot blocked by Jones. Venberg now back on it. Plays it down for Raquel. And Ricard Raquel leaves it there for Arvidsson. Arvidsson tangled up with Seth Jones. And Goodrow has it for the U.S. Slides it ahead. Vesey comes busting in. Jim Vesey backhand shot. He puts it wide with Vikstrand trying to stay with him. Final minute now, the period. Jacob Delarose has that shot go off a leg. Boy, has Vesey been a valuable guy for the U.S., Ray.
After making the team at the very end of the pre-tournament.
Here comes Bardreau again. He piles into Lundstrom, and a penalty coming to the United States for goalie interference.
That's a real tight penalty. I thought Bardreau did just about everything he could to avoid the goaltender.
Lundstrom up for the extra attacker as Rask comes in. And Rask has that rush stopped, and with 27 seconds to go, goalie interference will be the call against Cole Bardreau.
You mentioned Jim Vesey. He's going to be the beneficiary of this little chip area pass by John Goodrow. He drives the net, just chips it wide of the net. Here's Bardreau. Watch him pull up. Not enough. Penalties called, and Sweden gets their second power play. The U.S. without one of their better penalty killers here as well. The face-off to the left to John Gibson.
Seattle will take it against William Karlsson. Venberg and Forsberg, the other forwards for the Swedes in the power play. Arvidsson often plays the point in the power play for the Swedes. This is Arvidsson with it. Arvidsson centers. Karlsson in, shoots off the blocker of Gibson. Another play.
Nice play by Arvidsson. He seemed like he was cornered against the boards. Nowhere to go with it. He just held the puck here until the U.S. backed off enough. He found Karlsson. The shot hits the butt end of John Gibson's stick. Now just 20 seconds left in the period.
Arvidsson lost the puck to Miller, and JT Miller fires it down the ice. And now Karlsson with a head of steam. Flips it there for Forsberg, trying to tap it in front of Arvidsson, and time expires at the end of the first period. No score, and the Swedes will have a minute and 33 seconds of power play time to start the second period. You're watching the 2013 World Junior Hockey Championship.